Something like knight d4 check first is in order. Anything that stops black from trading pawn for pawn will keep the advantage alive. Even a move like rook to c8 is better, everyone, so that g4 can be met by checks. But rook b2 was the blunder, and Hikaru doesn't miss his chance to draw the game. So, oh my gosh. I'm getting too old for this.
I mean, Hikaru was seemingly better at first. That White King marched all the way up the board, took some pawns, ran back, then tried to protect the kingside pawn. It's just funny how these games go, but a huge save there by Hikaru. Wesley must be frustrated at not converting that game, but now with the black pieces, we have once more a Spanish that looks sort of like an Italian because the position isn't very open.
Said it before, we'll say it again. It's a flexible structure that allows both sides opportunities to outplay the other. That's why they like it. It's a great match, to be honest. I agree with whoever in Twitch chat just said that. And Diamond member on Chess TV, Platin Cita says we like Hikaru's. We need a head shake Hikaru emote, one where it's like bouncing instead of being in place. So
it's funny as a reaction to that. Wait, I just saw the eval bar take a nosedive there.
Yeah, what just happened there? Hikaru played Queen E2. Bishop G4. Ah, because the F pawn is pinned. But what's the advantage? I have no idea.
Not sure either. But I was reacting to what you were saying with Hikaru's head bob by doing a head bob myself. I was like,
my team telling me here, both players have regularly checked the match clock with staff and made sure that they have an accurate one in front of them. It just tells you the experience they both have, right, Robert? Wesley knows 3 minute is kind of his jam. Hikaru knows that if he keeps this thing close, you know, Wesley would really have to shock the world to win in bullets. So both these guys are very aware of the storylines we're talking about right now.
For sure. And this is an important moment in this game where Hikaru just went pawn to g4. He said, I am going to eliminate Black's opportunity to play pawn to f5 and open up the king side. And now Wesley is shifting gears over to the queen side, saying, let me try to make some inroads there. I don't quite see how that's going to happen, but still, he's doing his best because Hikaru has locked the board up. He's going king g2, rook h1. There is a semi-open file that White can take advantage of, and Black needs to be very careful not to allow just complete destruction down the h-file.
Here we go with the idea you talked about. The the h-file seems to be opening up while the f-file will never again. You got to be a little careful if you're Wesley. You don't want the h-file to become the storyline of the game because you'll be the one defending.
And if you take on e3 ever, if that bishop takes a knight, White would probably consider even taking with the pawn, not more because the knight's gone, but to open up more lines. And here, opposite colored bishops, but whose bishop will be stronger? Both bishops right now playing an integral part in the position.
Wait a second. D5 was played, and Hikaru played bishop 3 fast and then shook his head. Let's bring up the analysis board. I think he just missed the e5 pawn was hanging. After d5, couldn't he have just taken?
Because the queen has to take now.
But then bishop f3.
Right, that's way better for White than...
Right, and now there's all kinds of... I think Hikaru shook his head, and Wesley quickly played queen d6 to defend the e5 pawn and not allow that. So a small missed opportunity there from Nakamura, and we're back to a level position.
Yeah, and I think Black is trying to choose, do I play d4 and take over some of these dark squares? But what is either side trying to accomplish here? And I'm asking you that sincerely, Danny. Like, if you're White, you're going to double the rooks in the h-file, and then Black will just shift that rook over right back to h8, I believe. So how is White going to make progress here? And for Black, are there any things that you can do to try to get...
Well, I think we both know objectively OTB chess, meaning classical time controls. For those who don't speak French, this should be a draw. I mean, it's just very close to level. Obstacle bishops give neither side long-term winning chances. But in Blitz, with both sides going under a minute, I think this is exactly the kind of game Hikaru wants, to be frank, because the more time comes off the total match clock. Bold prediction. Ready? Hot take?
Hikaru's going to win this game?
My hot take is that this game will still be going when there's 10 minutes remaining on the clock. That's insane.
Wow.
I'm guessing 4 more minutes still.
I'm not going to take that one. That's
like I said, it's a hot take.
Okay.
Another hot take. Red is a great color
on.
on you. It looks fantastic. Brings out your complexion. It just, you look good today. Hot take.
Oh, G4. Look at that move. Caught you off guard, huh? Rook D2 coming. Queen G5, Rook D2, all these ideas.
Yeah, F2 is a problem. Watch out. Wesley
looks
shifting,
upset.
Hikaru rolling his eyes. I'm losing my ability to translate their facial expressions.
And that's a really great, timely pawn sacrifice by Wesley, understanding that the dynamic was favoring Hikaru. The A3 pawn was on the verge of being captured. So I need to do something that gives me possibilities of my own. And H5 played by him.
5 quickly played. I feel like both sides are underestimating the power of Rook to D2.
Yeah, the evaluation bar is like teetering.
Whoa, Hikaru goes all in for the pawn. Now watch out. Bishop takes F2 is a threat with queen takes G3 to justify the sack.
Rook D2, Rook D2, Rook D2, for sure.
Rook D2 is lights out. Stop the queen trade and stop the train. Wesley's going to win F2.
Oh, he trades queens.
Oh my gosh. Wesley missed it. He traded queens. Oh, wow. We have got to go back to that moment when this game is over. That could be the kind of game that decides the match. I mean, Robert, in all seriousness, even if this game ends in a draw, Wesley's missed opportunity there might be something we're talking about at the end of the day.
Yeah, that was I didn't see the conclusion, the knockout blow per se, but it did look like a position that Wesley was.
Well, and the main point, everybody, is that Rook D2 threatened Queen takes G3 because the F2 was pinned. So I don't even know what White can do.
Wait. This is bad for Wesley for sure. Rook D7.
Oh my gosh, this is turning around so fast.
Okay. Bishop
Both
D4.
sides under time pressure. Hard to judge either player here, but definitely some missed opportunities being traded back and forth. Okay, and now Bishop C3, we're going to have a draw in hand. I expect this game to have many more moves played, so let's bring up the analysis board, and I may not be so wrong that we reach the 10-minute mark on the clock. All I need is another minute to go by. We'll see. Oh, wait, I don't even need to trade. Robert, back here. Instead of queen takes C1, Wesley had rook to D2. And the game is over, everyone. But there's no way to deal with queen takes G3. The pawn is pinned. I mean, in addition to the fact that rook takes F2 is a threat. If you take,
rook takes
black
D2.
takes.
Rook E2.
Rook E2. What is it?
Is there bishop takes F2? Oh my gosh. There might be bishop takes F2. Oh my gosh.
And you can't take D2 because mate on G1. Let's show it. And yeah. And if you take F2, the point, everyone, is that now black can take with check, and you win the queen on C1 for free.
Dang.
Rook to D2 could be a moment in the match that we're coming back to talking about, because this move would have ended the game with threats on F2.
Did you see, by the way, Wesley left the board? I don't know what he did. Came back and then continued this game, which is on move 118.
By the way, did somebody say we'd reach the 10-minute mark, or did someone say we'd reach the 10-minute mark?
You were right.
Everyone, someone clip that. I said you were right. Someone clip it and ship it. Send it to my personal inbox of the 5 times I've been right over a 10-year period. There's not many. Any Hooters.
Oh, Danny. Why is this game still going? The chess player in me is just like, why?
The chess player in you is frustrated, and the friend in you resents the bleep out of me. Believe it.
No. I'm proud of you. Don't clip that moment, though.
I'll clip that one too, everyone. That gets added to the list. Anyway, the point is, right, that while the route we got here, I admit, was not what I anticipated, and Wesley did have opportunities, in the end, knowing the potential of this type of game, Robert, if we go back to the analysis board, just going back to the position kind of around move 40, or no, when I called it was like back here, right? On move 28. The point is, looking at the potential of a closed structure, an opposite colored bishop, and I was like, this game could easily last another 5 minutes, despite both players having a minute. And indeed, now that we're back to the live position, it has. Sliding over to grab some water.
You missed a whole lot.
Is this the time where I get to do that thing that all dads do in restaurants, where they just make everything their stretching area? Stand up. Hip stretch.
Yo, Danny, remember that part earlier where I called you a professional commentator? Yep. Yeah, you've lost that one.
Okay. Gotta get my hips out. Oh, you hear that?
Yeah, this
Crack
is
in the
weird.
back. Oh, yeah.
Did you ever say, hey, Robert, is it okay if I do this? No, I didn't. Also, it's move 197.
Oh, man, that's good, Pop. Oh, geez.
Yeah, we're having two totally separate conversations with each other right now.
What?
Nothing.
So it turns out I was wrong.